Hello, hello. Hey there, hey there. Welcome into another edition of Between the Lines. I'm Josh Ellis, editor-in-chief of Success Magazine, and we're going inside the pages of the September-October issue. As a matter of fact, we're going to the cover story. It doesn't get much bigger than that. It's Mindy and Glenn Stearns. We put the cover line, Work Better Together, Lessons from Power Partners. Matt Crossman, you interviewed them, you wrote it. Tell us about Mindy and Glenn. They're pretty fun couple, aren't they?
Yeah, fun. That would be the very first word I would use. Just charming and funny and bouncing ideas off each other, and just a lot of fun to talk to. And they've earned that fun, if I could put it that way, by Glenn, especially having been through some trials and tribulations in his life and came out smiling on the other end. So yeah, it was lots of fun to talk to them and learn from them and get to know them over the course of that story.
One of the things that drew me to their story was that more of us than ever are really, working closely with our significant other. Maybe we're not business partners. Maybe we're just like working from home now, and like they're on the other end of the house, and we're trying to coexist more than ever. But two people who have been successful in their own right, Mindy in sort of the entertainment industry, and Glenn with his lending company, and of course Undercover Billionaire on Discovery Channel. They've now come together on their own lending business, and they both bring something unique to it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And it's funny that you mentioned couples working together or near each other. My wife and I both work from home, and we'll like be texting each other, even though we're only, probably she's 40 feet above me upstairs. I'm in my basement office. She's in the upstairs office, and we're in the same house texting each other anyway, which is just a funny fact of 21st century life. But you're right. They do bring completely different skill sets. Mindy is much more gregarious and wide open. And Glenn is like that too, but much a lesser extent. And he comes from a business where, it's very much black and white, bottom line. You either qualify for a loan or you don't. And so I think they make a good couple in that sense, that they sort of interlock in the important parts, but then they also broaden each other out.
Their story is, as is usually the case, the cover story is sort of the impetus for the theme of the issue overall. And we call this issue Get Stronger Together. And it's because all of us, whether it's our significant other, or just coworkers or family members, or our gratitude that we have for our customers, right? We all have great need for other people, and none of us are a success in our own right. And so, I really, one of the things that I found so interesting is that, like, it seems like Glenn just never met an enemy. He's still like close friends with his two ex-wives. That takes a big person.
That you are exactly right. And that was probably the single character trait I wanted to understand the most out of Glenn, where after reading their story, and not just with the mother of his first child, his ex-wife, but even people he would end a business with, he is an absolute master at difficult conversations coming out of them where both people are happy. And I asked him that. I said, in reviewing your life and understanding the trials and tribulations, it seemed like every turning point came because you had a really difficult conversation with him. And Mindy kind of chimed in and said, you are exactly right. And I kind of want to hear the answer because I'm not exactly sure how he does it. And his answer was basically that he knows that if you have a difficult conversation with somebody and come out the other end with a positive outcome, that you are going to have more respect for that person that you had that conversation with. So he tries to be that person who can have the difficult conversation and resolve whatever the issue was. And he really is a master at that. It's really quite incredible. And it's because I think it's like a lack of ego, that he's not afraid to say either I screwed up and you need to help me, get this fixed, or this is a bad situation that we need to not make worse. Whatever it is, he's perfectly comfortable, admitting that he needs help.
You've been married quite a while. You had an anniversary not too long ago, maybe like 20 years, something like that.
We had 21 in May, but we joked that we had our 20th anniversary plus one in May because we couldn't really celebrate it the May before. But yeah, 21 years.
I think that our writers learn something from every story that they do. And you've been married longer than Mindy and Glenn. But is there anything that you took away from the way that they interacted that could you found to be instructive in your own relationship, or maybe not even with your wife, but just other people in general?
Yeah, I would say a couple of things. One would be Glenn's ability to have difficult conversations. I mean, my interview with him was 2 months ago, I think, and I'm literally applying that already to be more intentional about those conversations, basically based on what he told me, that the outcome of that afterward, that having the courage to set up that difficult conversation is going to strengthen the relationship with that person, even if the outcome you don't love. The courage to set up that conversation is the key thing. And really, I think the other thing is they just don't take themselves too seriously. I mean, they goof on each other. If you listen to their podcast, they both finish each other's sentences in a positive way, but then cut on each other. And they're both just kind of open and honest. And there's nothing that they're going to say to each other that's going to, make each other mad. I guess I would put it that way.
Well, Matt, it was an enjoyable story. I think that they always are when our writers enjoy working on them. So that showed through in your piece. I hope everybody, if you haven't already, check it out. It's on the success.com homepage or on newsstands everywhere. Success Magazine, September, October issue. Matt will be back very soon. You got 2 stories in this issue. So looking forward to talking about that one. Until next time, we'll see you on another edition of Between the Lines. So long, everybody.